Hello, curious learners. Have you ever wondered what makes a flower so special? I mean, think about it. Every time you see a flower bloom, you're witnessing an incredible process of reproduction. A flower is not just a beautiful part of a plant, it's the reproductive unit, the lifeline of many plant species. Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating world of flowers and understand how they play such a crucial role in the life cycle of plants. The flower is the reproductive unit of angiosperms, which are plants that produce seeds enclosed within a fruit. The typical flower has four main parts: the calyx, corolla, Androecium, and Gynoecium. These parts work together like an intricate system to ensure that the plant can reproduce and thrive. The calyx and corolla are the accessory parts, while the Androecium and Gynoecium are where all the action happens. They contain the reproductive organs. And just like you and me, flowers have both male and female parts, which makes them bisexual in nature. Take a moment to think about the flowers in your garden or the ones you see while walking. Isn't it amazing how nature uses color, scent, and structure to attract pollinators? The flower's primary goal is reproduction, and it does this through pollination, the transfer of pollen from the male part, stamen, to the female part, pistil, dot. Now that we know the flower is all about reproduction, let's explore its parts in more detail. Imagine peeling back the layers of a flower. The outermost layer is called the calyx, which consists of sepals. These green, leaf-like structures protect the flower in its early bud stage. They're like the armor that shields the developing flower. Next, we have the corolla, made up of petals. These are the colorful, often fragrant parts of the flower that attract pollinators. Just like bees are drawn to a bright red hibiscus, the petals act as a beacon for the creatures that will help the plant reproduce. You might hear the term gamopetalous when petals are joined, or polypetalous when they are separate. Moving inwards, we encounter the Androecium, the male reproductive organ, which consists of stamens. Each stamen has a filament and an anther where pollen is produced. It's the pollen from the anther that makes its way to the pistil for fertilization. Finally, we have the gynoecium, the female part of the flower. It consists of the pistil, which includes the stigma, style, and ovary. The ovary holds the ovules, which, when fertilized by pollen, will grow into seeds. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the symmetry of flowers. It's not just about beauty, but also about efficiency. Flowers can be categorized based on their symmetry, and this plays a big role in how they are pollinated. If a flower can be divided into two equal halves along multiple planes, it's called actinomorphic or radially symmetrical. Think of the classic daisy or hibiscus flowers. You can slice them in many directions and still get to matching halves. Then there are flowers like orchids or peas, which exhibit zygomorphic symmetry or bilateral symmetry. You can only divide them into two equal halves along one plane. Isn't it fascinating how this symmetry helps with efficient pollination? And lastly, some flowers are asymmetric, meaning they can't be divided into two equal halves. The canna flower is a great example of this. This asymmetry ensures that the flower's pollinators interact with it in a very specific way. Now, let's dive deeper into the flower's anatomy, specifically the positioning of the floral parts on the thalamus or the stem of the flower. Depending on where the ovary is placed, we categorize flowers as hypogynous, perigynous, or epigynous. In hypogynous flowers, the ovary is above the other parts of the flower, making it superior. Flowers like mustard and China rose follow this pattern. On the other hand, perigynous flowers, such as plums and roses, have the ovary position in the center, with other parts of the flower surrounding it. And in epigynous flowers, the ovary is below the other parts of the flower, making it inferior. Flowers like guava and cucumber fit into this category. Isn't it incredible how these different positions affect how the flowers function and how they are pollinated? Let's explore something a little more subtle but just as fascinating: aestivation. This refers to the arrangement of the petals or sepals in the flower bud. These structures are arranged in different ways before the flower blooms, and this arrangement can tell us a lot about the flower. There are three main types of aestivation: valvate, twisted, and imbricate. In valvate aestivation, the petals touch each other at the margins but don't overlap. In twisted aestivation, one petal overlaps another, and in imbricate, the petals overlap in a more irregular way. This simple-looking characteristic plays a big role in how the flower grows and how it interacts with the environment. Nature's design, right? It's these little details that make biology so wonderful to explore. At last, let's get to the big moment: pollination and fertilization. Once pollination occurs, where pollen moves from the male part to the female part, fertilization begins. The pollen grain travels down the style to reach the ovary, where it fuses with the ovule. Think about the bees buzzing around flowers. When they collect nectar, they also help move pollen from one flower to another. That's pollination in action. Once fertilization happens, the ovary grows into a fruit, and the fertilized ovules become seeds. It's amazing to think that every time you eat a fruit, you're enjoying the product of this intricate process. Let's quickly connect all the amazing processes we've explored today about the flower. From the stunning symmetry that attracts pollinators, to the meticulous positioning of floral parts, and finally to the wonder of pollination and fertilization, it's clear that the flower is a masterpiece of biological engineering. Biology, in all its glory, is filled with these intricate, beautifully coordinated processes, from the tiniest seed to the lushest garden. So, next time you spot a flower, remember that behind its beauty lies a fascinating, life-sustaining system that has been perfected by nature over millions of years. I hope this session helped you see just how intricate and connected life really is. Until next time, let's continue exploring the marvels of biology and uncover more secrets of the living world.